Welcome back, everybody. The fight is over. So I calculated all the business. I figured out Princess is lucky because she's tough and Tokai's not that strong. So she took a B5 hit, which on her grayscale coordinates to a light wound. So she's injured enough that, let's see if she's unconscious by the time you reach her, because she's got to make a steel test. So let's see. She's got a steel of 8. She's pretty good in that regard.
Pretty steely.
She's very steely. She was a slave.
What a badass.
Yeah. Okay, so get that steel action. Yeah, so I think by the time you've reached her, because her hesitation's not very high, she's back in business. So you get to her and she's kind of like just shaking off the injury. You like breach the stage and like come over to her, and she's hurt. She's lying on her back, but she's not she's not dead. She's just, there's a lot of blood, but it does seem to be more like surface injury than you maybe first expected.
So yeah, I kind of like size her up, nod, and then I like ask. I'm like, "You all right? Need help?"
I think she kind of like pushes you away, and she's like, "I'm fine,
Good.
fine," and tries to get up. She could use some help, but she's not a wreck.
I'll do I put a hand out.
No one seems to be paying her any attention. Like everybody's kind of like cheering for Tokai. I think she like lets you help her stand up. And then there's a moment where now she like actually like looks at you.
Wait, why are you here?
Yeah, totally.
And I kind of don't skip a beat. And I'm just like, I saw you lining up a couple of kill strokes there. Must have been frustrating.
I think she just like pushes you out of the way. She's just like, get out of my way, and tries to like get past you. And because there's a like they've put wooden slats down so that the fighters can leave the. But it's gone from being a fight to a party now. Like the big fight's over, and they're all people want to like gather around Tokai and celebrate the win. People are over at the betting board, like exchanging money and tearing at their clothes for having lost all their money. But she's gone from being the center of attention to being nobody all of a sudden, and she's just trying to like get past you. And
yeah, and I just kind of like shrug. I'm like, it's no fun. It's fine. Just, like put my hands up. Like,
okay. All right. Yeah, she kind of like obviously in pain, but fighting it off, like just kind of pushes her way into the crowd, and then unless you follow her, disappears.
I'll follow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Agnes, you see this exchange. So you've been keeping an eye on Rooster. You see them have a conversation you can't hear because it's too loud, and then Rooster follows off after Princess.
What does the couple do?
Let's see if you've lost track of them. So they're
gonna follow me, and then you follow them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna roll their inconspicuous. Now you're not super. You're very distracted by all the other stuff that's going on. So
yeah, understandably.
So these folk are trained in both conspicuous and inconspicuous.
Perfectionists, I swear.
Their inconspicuousness. Let's see how they do. I'm gonna give them a bonus. What did I give you? 2 dice.
Yeah.
Because you were in the fight. Okay, so I'll give them as well the same. Play it fair. You turn to look, so you're distracted by like, oh hey, it's Rooster, and then you turn and they've ghosted on you. So they're maybe around, maybe they've left. The crowd has sort of swallowed them up. Now you remember Woodsman and Basil. Like maybe as you're looking around, you see them up on the balcony. If you could get to them fast enough, maybe one of them could spot them. Especially Woodsman. That's kind of his jam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I try to do that.
Okay, so you're caught in a moment because you're like, I could follow Rooster,
right?
Or you can run up to the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Rooster is just like following after Princess, talking at her back about
Yeah.
stuff.
Are you still being like, you should have used the white crane style instead of like orange scorpion, you idiot?
No,
Like in an
I'm
enclosed
being
space
more.
like this.
I'm not like lecturing her. I'm just
Sure.
being like, yeah, it's kind of bullshit how they set up these fights. Like, yada yada. Like, yeah, John Booker's an asshole. I'm just kind of like more talking to myself, but like
trying to
at
make
her.
conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll follow the camera will follow Agnes as she pushes through the crowd, disappears into the VIP area, and then emerges again out onto the balcony. Basil, what are you doing when Agnes comes back?
I think I'm getting ready to leave. Actually, I think I'm like, all right, well, it's over.
Party's over.
Yeah, so I'm probably like opening the door to leave while she runs in. It's one of those
Yeah,
situations.
the two of you kind of collide in the narrow hallway.
Yeah. Is everything okay?
I don't know. I lost them. I lost them.
You lost who? What's slow down?
There were these two people, and they were watching Rooster, and I don't know what they want, but they were making weird faces at each other, and then they disappeared after the fight, and I can't spot them from down there.
How much have
here?
How much have you had to drink? Because I know the Woodsman and I have been put in the back a little bit. I understand some people.
No. Honestly, no. They're suspicious.
You did see that they
where
were
they
missing a hand.
One of them was, yeah.
Yeah.
And one of them was missing a hand.
I feel like that might be a relevant detail.
All right. I guess we head back in to the room with Booker and Woodsman.
Okay. Yeah, out onto the like balcony.
Balcony. Yeah.
Okay. So, in Basil's absence, John Booker has turned to you, Woodsman, and is like, "So, you like the fight? Enjoying my wine? Having a good time?"
Oh man. I want to be like just a straight up grumpy cat response. It's just,
No.
but
That's fair.
no, I think I'm just like wine's good, and just like trying to like get him to stop engaging me by like saying what I think he needs to hear.
Yeah. So you're like, no, the wine's good?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, the wine's good.
He's like, yeah, that's right, it is. Did you hear the story? I was telling your friend Basil. He like launches into it again, where he's like,
Oh
right,
my
so
God.
part of the king's private reserve. See, they only make like 16 bottles of this
I'm
every
just like,
year.
I'm trying to see what the rooster is doing. You see this? Because I think like as soon as that fight ended,
Mm-hmm.
I'm immediately like sort of focused on the rooster, because he obviously like jumps into the fray, and you know, I sort of have like a special interest in his affairs. So it's like, what is he doing? Why is he getting himself involved in like this
Sure.
thing?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm trying to like scan this.
Yeah, so you see, I think you catch the like rooster follow Princess off into the crowd, and John kind of shrugs and he's like, typical. Look at this, losers flock together, right? Isn't that how it goes? Slaves. I swear. And he like turns to you and he's like, if I had my way, we would never have freed the lot of them. I had six myself. Government comes up here, says, oh, John Booker, you can't own slaves anymore. Where's the justice in that? I paid for them. Where's my gold? I asked them. I asked the Revolutionary Council. They said I had to wait. I have a hearing scheduled. They owe me money.
I like don't acknowledge him while he's saying all that stuff, but I sort of like push on his shoulder to help myself up because I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah.
Drinking, so I'm like, I push on his shoulder, but like completely ignoring him, and I stand up and sort of lean forward and squint to try to see what's going on, try to follow.
He takes your like slight wobble and you're like need to get up, and then suddenly like leaning on the balcony is a sign like maybe you're gonna be sick or something. And he like, I think he laughs and like claps you hard on the back. He's like, yeah, it's all right, no one cares.
I think like upon being clapped on the back, that's like jarring to me. So I probably like whip an elbow around, like because it like startles me because I'm like in the zone trying to figure out what's going on down there.
Sure.
And he's just been like this annoying chattering in the background that I've zoned out.
Yeah.
When I actually get clapped on the back, it's like,
Okay. Yeah, I think he maybe takes offense at that. Like he staggers back a little and he's like, "Well, all right, fine. Just trying to be friendly." He like kind of scowls like you really hurt his feelings. and then
Yeah.
he turns, and this is when Basil and Agnes I think come out onto the balcony.
I've never been more happy that I wasn't in a room. I've never. You would have made Basil a murderer tonight. You're very close.
I know.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, it's all right. Your friend's just a bit sick. It's fine. And he looks over at Agnes. He's like, "Oh, welcome back, love. You have a good seat from down there."
I don't acknowledge him, and I
That's so good.
I just
Shut up, John.
I turned like straight to Woodsman, and I'm like, you were watching the fight, right? Did you see a strange couple? One of them didn't have a hand.
what? No. Did you see the rooster? He jumped on stage. He's trying to.
I know, but these people were watching him. Him, not the fight.
Well, what is he doing right now, though?
I don't know.
You don't know where he is.
He followed the one with the braid out of the ring. I don't know what he's trying to do.
Okay. Well, what?
But these people might be after him.
Why do you say that?
They had their eyes on him the whole time instead of the fight. And they were talking with one another as if they knew him from somewhere.
What do they look like?
Plain, average.
There's lots of average people. down there.
I realize that. One of them
There's-
didn't have a hand.
What do you need? His like social insurance number, Basil? Come on.
You know,
That's all I know, and they disappeared.
that would help.
I don't know. Average height, average build,
The
white,
moment the fight
brown
ended,
hair.
they
Come on.
disappeared.
They look like, I don't know, nobody's.
People. They look like people.
Straight out of Central Casting.
Okay.
I'm not perceptive. That's what you get.
Can we? Yeah, I'm totally fine. I'm just trying to look from up here and seeing.
I'm like scanning the crowd now,
Okay.
like seeing if I can see anyone like moving in a
Effort.
strange,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
moving against the crowds, sort of like awkwardly, like in a different direction.
Okay. Is Agnes the only one looking for them? Or is anybody else?
Definitely.
I think I turned my attention back there too.
Yeah.
All right.
When Agnes says like, "Hey,
so-
there's some shit going on," definitely believe her there and take a look. You know?
Yeah, in this case, you're somebody is doing the test, and the other two are helping. They're like pointing stuff out or like just
Yeah.
observing. So who's the one making this test? Who's the chief observer?
I guess it's me because I'm the only one who saw them, and I
I feel
can't
like I
describe
feel
them.
like no, you're the helper
Yeah.
in this case. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're
I think
the
it's
one
what-
telling them like what to look for, but you've
Okay.
lost them already. So
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm like kind of not as interested in these people because it just doesn't make sense as like a concern to me. I don't disbelieve Agnes, so I'm happy to like sort of step up and be like, okay, all right, okay. Where did you last see them? And just like point or something.
Yeah, I point to. Well, I can't really point because it's such a huge room, I guess. So
like
I'm like,
somewhere in this courtyard, there's a
Yeah.
man
So-
named
so I-
Waldo.
So, like,
I'm
was there?
"Ugh."
Were they
to the-
near
to the
anything?
front- to the very front of the line, right in front of the pit. They were watching Rooster very intently, and then left.
I'm like, all right.
So John tries to get himself in on this while you're talking, and because he sees this like hushed conversation, and you're like, he heard a bit of you being like, I saw these two people. So he comes up and he's like, something wrong, love. Somebody push you. Someone give you a hard time down there. I've got muscle. We can find them. And he like, kind of like, you want me to go fuck some people up for you? That'd be impressive, right? You'd like that?
I think Rooster's in trouble.
He looks at you. Fuck him. What do I care?
Nice to know who my friends really are.
Well, like
John, as long as
you paid
John, as
him,
long
right?
as,
He's not worth shit to him anymore.
John, as long as you and I do dealings, the Rooster is someone you should care about. You'll probably have to continue dealing with him.
He sighs and like rolls his eyes dramatically. He's like, "What do you say, citizen?"
I'm like incredibly hurt by what he said.
Yeah. So he
Looking at Basil, like wondering what he's gonna do about this.
Yeah.
So Basil, I think you pick up on that look from Agnes. That's like, yeah, what are you gonna do about this? Like,
No, John. I mean it. We've already had this talk. You seem committed. And if you are, that means treating men like Rooster better than you have before.
listen. I've got no problem with men like Rooster. It's Rooster specifically I've got a bad history with. Like, I'll be nice. I can play good with him, but
What's your
Thanks.
bad history with Rooster? That you squeezed him for everything he was worth over the course of his entire life?
he looks at you and he's like, Rooster.
Or is your bad history that you can't do it anymore? Because finally someone stepped up to you.
He's
I'm
like,
watching the crowd again.
yeah. So he's distracting Basil
dick.
in this case,
Mhm.
and he's like, look, we just got bad blood. We go back a long way. Some people just don't get along. It's complicated.
I have no doubt that you have his bad blood on your hands. But I can't see how he hurt you ever.
Shrugs. I've got feelings too. And he kind of like winks at you, and he's like, I'm going to get a drink, and like turns to walk off. So meanwhile, Woodsman, you're scanning the crowd. So what's your intent here? What are you looking for? You're trying to find Agnes's mysterious.
Yeah, I want to see anything that'll tip me off to the
Looking for the one-armed man.
describing.
Okay, they're inconspicuous holds, so it's an ob 3 perception or observation test because they're trying to stay hidden.
Does one of them have like an enormous sparkling hat or something?
Yeah, they have like a little marker over top of them in their mini map. If you go into Eagle Vision, they're a different color than everybody else.
All right. Does Woodsman get a bonus for being at an elevated height?
Yes, absolutely. So take an advantage die for being
yeah.
above the crowd. Take a helping die from Agnes.
I am not helping. I think this is like while I'm arguing with John.
Definitely, that was the hook there.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Oh yeah, fucking you spot him, no problem.
Nice.
Awesome.
So, despite the fact that Agnes gave you a totally piss poor description, after 2 or 3 tries of being like, is that them? No. How about those 2? What about them? Yeah, you find the folks you were talking about before, but there's more of them now. The 2 of them who rejoined a larger group. There's about a half dozen, and they're all over under one of the awnings by one of the food carts that's now like reopened. And they don't seem to be paying any attention to the kind of like hubbub around them. They're not getting food. They're not drinking. They're not like cheering or anything. They're just having a like kind of like hushed conversation in closed space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them.
What are they wearing?
They're all wearing like similarly like indistinct clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't look. They look like they're trying to blend in. Like they're just wearing
Right.
kind of like average street clothes for a
Right.
person.
They're
of
normcore.
5.
I get it.
Totally.
We get it. They're average.
They're wearing acid wash jeans and
Yes.
New Balance sneakers.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're just like having a conversation.
Where are they near any specific place in this area? Like, are they near food court? Like food
Yeah,
truck?
they're standing next to one of the food vendors.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not.
No, none of them are holding a kebab or
Yeah.
Okay.
anything like that.
Can we be done? Can Booker have walked off at this point? After?
Yeah. He's gone to find more fun people to hang
Can
out
we be
with.
done with Booker?
Can we just done with Booker for a second?
No, he's in the hallway. I'm waiting to spring my trap. As soon as you get in there, he's gonna just jump on you. Basil, what's going on, man?
I need knives instead of just swords. This is the thing. for reasons. Woodsman, can you follow them? Anyone who has an eye on Rooster like that sounds like they're up to no good.
Like, of course I can follow them.
You're like, look at me. Come on, this is what I
Come
do.
on. Yeah.
Are you
Can we
ready?
get our weapons back?
Are you ready, the woodsman, to hunt the most dangerous game?
12 people in New Balances.
Jeez.
The normalist game. Yeah, you follow them to the mall. Yeah. So do you want to do that? You want to just like put a tail on them? And
Yeah, I think I eagerly, set off and
Okay.
say, "Come on."
All right. So while you do that, Rooster, you're following Princess.
Mhm.
Okay. So she leaves the square unceremoniously. Maybe a couple of people like laugh at her or point or like jeer or something as she goes. She doesn't get any like positive response, but somebody's like, "Hey, it's the loser," or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But she obviously doesn't pay any attention to him, and they kind of just like pass by. And she gets out into the alley that like connects the square to the street. Gets out into the alley, and I think turns around to see if you're still following her.
Yeah, and I'm still behind, like kind of talking.
Okay. Yeah, she whips around, and her braid is like come kind of undone, so it like comes around and like is like hanging in front of her now, and her hair's a little messed up, and she's like holding her stomach where she got stabbed, but it's not like bleeding, but there's blood all over her clothes and her hands. And she stops and like kind of gives you this like steely look, and she's like, "What?"
Why even fight there?
Just like, looks at you. She's like, "What do you mean? Why fight there?" I mean, and she's like, as she's talking, she's undoing the little like buckles that are holding the like chest piece that's now got a hole, like a cut in it on.
Mhm.
Yeah, so she's like undoing these buckles, and she's just like trying not to understand you. Like she's just like, "That's a stupid question. Shut up."
I mean, look, that's my life that you're going into. So don't talk to me like I'm some child wandering in. Why were you fighting there? What reason would you have to do it? And why go in there if you don't know how?
I think she takes offense.
I've seen you kill men.
She takes offense to that. She's like, "I know how to fight."
I know. You know how to fight properly. So what are you doing in there?
I don't know if you noticed, but the revolution's over, Rooster. There's not a lot of place to fight left. Not the way we used to. She like pulls the like chest plate off, and she's just got her like sodden like blouse underneath, and like throws it on the ground.
Yeah, and I kind of like lean against the wall and like, like nod up in the air or whatever. And I'm just like, well, you're fucking right about that.
Find me a war, I'll go fight there. For now, she gestures kind of where she came from. She's like, that's what we have. Look, not everyone is a hero of your revolution, Rooster. We don't have statues made of us. Some of us still
2
just
days
have
ago
to keep working.
2 days ago, I passed out next to one for all the good it did me. Look, this revolution didn't help anyone. Not me, not you. Most it did was change the names.
She kind of scowls at you. Maybe not you. I'm a lot better off than I was before. At least I get to pick where I fight. Choices are limited, but she like looks. But a fight's a fight. I'm getting better. I could have killed them, but
I saw. Look, maybe we got off on the wrong foot, or we have some weird history.
she looks at your leg when you say that. Like, are you joking? And then looks at you like, are you smiling? And then, how do you react? Because you're like, we got off on the wrong foot. She looks down, looks at you.
And I kind of smile, like I didn't know I was making the joke, but now I think it's funny. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
like-
and then she laughs.
But I know where you're coming from. Some of it, anyways. You need someone to spar with? You want to be better at that? I can help you. And me, I'm bad at all the rest. So, I'd be happy to take a trade on that.
So while you're talking, she's like leaned over and has pulled out a leather satchel that she like had jammed behind. And this is like typical. You recognize this behavior right away. Like she could have given somebody the satchel or like had someone hold it for her, but it's the sort of like quality of a person that has nothing, and you can tell she squirreled it away because she just didn't trust anybody, even if it's nothing.
Yeah,
and she pulls out
exactly.
this like leather satchel and opens it, and it just has some like bandages and like thread and stuff in it. And she's kind of like trying to figure out how to like bandage her own ribs by herself while you're talking. But why don't you make her roll? Let's see if you can get her to trust you, or if she's just like, fuck off, Rooster.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like your intent here was to be like, hey, look, like maybe we got off on, we can be friends. Maybe this could be a thing that we could like work.
Yeah, Rooster wants a pal.
Okay.
Wants an ex-slave pal.
All right.
That's all I want.
Sounds good. Okay, so make a, I guess a persuade.
Persuade?
roll.
Cool. What is my obstacle?
Yeah. Do you have persuade?
I have persuade.
Nice.
Yo, you
Okay.
think I don't have
I'm
persuade?
just asking. I have to ask these things.
I'm so persuasive.
She has a will of 5, so it is an obstacle 5 roll.
Okay, so I'm gonna fork in soldier-wise.
Mhm.
I'm gonna fork in. Oh, I don't quite have ugly truth, but that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Do I have anything else that's relevant? Unless you think campaign history is relevant, because I'm referring to wars that we have been in as part of my establishing of trust.
Not so much.
Great. Well, then I get 4 dice.
Okay. You got fate points, right? Do you have a persona? Do you want to spend any persona points for a die?
Persona gets me 1 die, which
Yeah,
puts
give
me
an
at
extra die.
5 against Ob 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Stranger,
basically just have to like throw myself at your mercy.
stranger things have
The
happened.
result, because I can't pass.
Yeah.
I believe in you, Rooster.
But maybe I roll some 6s and we make some magic happen. So
I believe in you. You're a good role player.
It's
yo,
Oh shit. So you got a 50-50 on this now.
50-50 chance of having a friend and go.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Well,
Oh,
mark your challenging persuade test, and I think that there's a moment where like you say that, and you can see her in obvious like discomfort, like trying to do a thing she can't do alone.
Yeah, and I'm like there and like I could help.
Wait, I thought you were burning.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
you were burning
you had
something.
3 persuade, spend a point of persona.
And soldier-wise.
How many persuade? You have 2 persuade, right?
No, I have 3 persuade.
Yeah.
And I get +1 from forking in.
Right, so that was 4 dice.
Soldier-wise.
Oh, did you? You
4
didn't.
dice.
You didn't spend Arth on it beforehand.
You
didn't
didn't.
spend the persona.
I did not spend persona.
Okay,
that
that's.
one.
I thought you were spending persona. My bad.
No,
Okay.
I only have the 1 point. I need to save that for if I get killed.
Yes,
Yeah.
good call.
Good call.
Of course.
Okay. So she's like trying to bandage the wound or whatever, and like looks at you for a second, like she's trying to decide, and then she's like, "I don't need your pity. I don't need your help, and I don't need you to be my friend. Fuck off, Rooster." And she's like wincing, and you can see her like starting to stitch up the place where Tokai like gouged her.
And I think Rooster is like sufficiently pissed at this rejection that he just stands there and watches her like flail at stitching herself up and just like taps his foot for a minute and like lets it drag on.
Okay, I think that makes her mad too, and
Yeah, I'm just like, really?
I think that she puts on a tone of voice with you that is like obviously put on, obviously trying to make you respond. It's like her, and she's heard it a ton of times before. This is the like man with a whip in his hand voice, and she doesn't tell you. She's not telling you to fuck off. She's commanding you to fuck off, and she's like, "I said fuck off, no name."
Oh my god.
Well, she wants to get beat up a second time. Cool.
Oh my
All right.
god.
Oh no.
Rooster, you're going to kill her. Oh my god.
No, I'm going to fight her with the intent of being friends. If I can't talk her into it, I'm gonna fight her into it.
Okay, all right. I mean, she does have a disadvantage die right now.
Yo, it's the perfect time to be friends with someone.
That's right. When they're all hurt and disadvantaged.
Actually, further question.
Yes.
Would that have made my? It doesn't affect.
No,
like,
it just affects
the
her.
person
Yeah, her
getting
rolls.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. I can't sit here looking at masterless on my character sheet and have someone call me no name.
It's true. So what do you
and
do?
Not to mention answering any challenge. So yeah, we're thrown down.
You're just gonna. So do you just rush her and like tackle her onto the ground, or like how does this look? Is this like a rage thing, or are you just like? Because I want to know how you react to this.
So there's like a
specifically.
beat where I say nothing,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm mid foot tap with my dead foot. So there's just the metal like clink. I'm just like, I have a name, and I just walk towards her, like not explicitly in a threatening way,
Yeah.
but I'm sure she clues in.
Oh yeah, she clues in for sure.
Yeah, and then it's just like drag out, dirty brawl in the alley.
Okay. All right. So your intent here is to what?
Punch her till we're friends.
Okay. So you want to earn her respect by punching her. Earn her respect
Yes.
with punches. Okay.
This is the most rooster thing I can ever say in my life.
I will allow it. I think that it is possible to change Princess's mind about you by fighting her.
Great.
Okay. So she's gonna roll boxing, and she's gonna fork in slave wise. And you're gonna roll, I guess, brawling.
I'm also
Or
going to
you
roll
box- you
boxing.
have boxing. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that the fact that I'm using boxing is important because this is like, hey, I can like show you how to fight better. Like it kind of ties back to all of my stuff that I was offering.
Mhm.
Where it's like I know how this all works.
Sure.
So
Okay.
if I used brawling, it would just be like I just actually want to hurt you.
Okay. So,
Cool. And I'm gonna fork in brawling, soldier wise, dirty fighting wise. So I'm gonna fight dirty. And I have slave wise as well.
okay. Yeah.
So
I think you're probably gonna win.
3.
This is your Rooster's learning a life lesson here. Unless I roll great and you roll really badly. Okay, I got 2.
been known to happen.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, I'm better at it.
So the great thing is you probably like there's a chance you wouldn't have won if she wasn't already injured.
Yeah,
So
totally.
you come at her and she like goes to get her guard up and she winces because she's got this like rib injury. So she's like and then you punch her in the face. And then the two of you like there's a
We
quick
like duke it out. in the
alley kung fu battle.
Yeah, totally.
And you fight similarly, I think, right? Like you both fight with this kind of self-sacrificing, like willing to take hits kind of style because that's how you were
Yeah.
trained.
Yeah, exactly.
Is your fighting dirty that you like punch her in the ribs where she got stabbed?
Oh yeah, like
Fuck.
like not punch, but like the like open hand thing where you like wedge your fingers in.
Okay.
Yeah, like
No.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
All right. So at one point you get her like pinned up against the wall and you're like jabbing her in the ribs with your hand and she's like wincing and there's there's probably like tears in her eyes and at that point she like taps your back like as if it stopped being a real fight and it was just like you were just practicing or sparring or whatever and she's like okay Rooster stop and like pushes you back.
Yeah, and I like give like a little bit of space and I like take my hand away, jamming into her wound.
Take your
Yeah.
hand out.
And she looks back at the bag which she dropped when you rushed her, and she was like, "Okay, just help me with that." And she points at it.
Yeah, and I like pick it up and I'm like, yeah, sit down here, and I just go into like
Yeah,
field medic
she
mode.
sits on the edge of the barrel, and I think pulls her like blouse up over her head and throws it aside and looks at it, and she's like, "It's not so bad." And like I guess we probably like fade out as you get in there to like try to help her.
Yeah, can I make the roll?
I feel like
Or
you
do you
don't
want
need
to
to. The role's sort of inconsequential, like whether you actually help or not. It's not an urgent wound.
Great.
But she'll remember that you helped. So, meanwhile, secret spy shit. Woodsman, you want to track these. So it looks like as you leave the balcony to go and track them, they're starting to like separate. And the two that were following that Agnes pointed you at, they were following Rooster. They're leaving. So you can track them to where they go. Do you say anything before you leave? Are you like, we're gonna meet here, or are you just like, I'm on them, and you'll you leave? Like, how does that look?
I think I'm like, look, I turn to, are Basil and Agnes both like with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I turn to you guys and I'm like, look, I'll figure out where they're going and we'll meet back.
Just trust me. I got this.
Guys.
But like, I don't say where we'll meet back.
Yeah, meet where?
And I'm like, look, Basil's place. Basil's place is good.
Nod.
I don't like this. What if they send someone back with you? What if they follow you back, and then anybody who's going after the rooster? There's a lot of reasons to do that. I don't like any of this.
Look, you want to come with me? You gotta be able to stay out of sight.
Looking at my character sheet. Yeah, I can stay out of sight.
Okay. Let's go.
Man, wearing fancy.
I super can't stay out of sight. It's gonna be bad.
Imagine what a world would be like if we could all see each other's character sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to come with me? I can stay out of sight. I see the 0 right there.
Yeah.
Man. I know.
Yeah.
You also see never let a friend walk into danger alone.
It's true. It's true. You're definitely following an instinct in a way that's going to get you in trouble. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So I think in this case you're making a. I guess this is a tracking test to follow them, but you can fork in. You got lots of forking skills. So what do you want to fork into that test to follow these?
Stealthy.
Okay. So I think there'll be 2 separate tests. There'll be, can you follow them, and can you stay hidden while following them?
Oh, okay. All right.
Can I help with hunting?
Yeah. You can totally help with hunting. Look at you with your having the skills.
Yeah, that I got.
Basil finds the spoor of
can
his prey in the streets and sniffs it.
Then can I fork
Done.
hunting?
Still warm.
Smells like plaid.
They pooped here recently.
Smells like craft beer and
Perfect. Okay, so you're gonna make a. So you're making a tracking test. You have an extra die for hunting from Basil.
Can I fork hunting as well myself?
Yeah. You can fork in hunting yourself. So it's 2 extra dice. You got anything else you want to fork?
You said there's going to be a separate roll for staying out of sight.
Yeah.
So
for not being noticed.
Can I
shadowy.
fork stealthy right now? Or is
No,
that...
that'll be for the other roll.
Okay. I don't know. Observation, is that?
Yep, definitely.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I think that's probably it.
All right. So these guys, they're gonna try to disappear into the crowd, and I'm gonna roll their inconspicuous. And I'll give them some bonus dice for the crowd, for the environment. It's starting to get dark. Okay, so you're gonna need to get a 4 or better to track these guys without, or track them to wherever they're going.
Okay. So I have 3 modifiers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And there's no obstacle since I'm
Yeah.
rolling
Well, you
against
can put in it's ob 4 because it's a versus test. So
Oh,
the ob
okay.
is the, and I'm not tracking. I don't track advancement for them, so I just put ob 1.
All right. Damn.
Okay. You get any 6s? Oh, you got lots. You got 3 6s. You can spend a
Oh,
fate.
word. Okay. Yes, let's do that.
Yeah. So just roll 3d6.
Or should I hoard my 27 fate?
No. Spend all the fate on everything.
Okay.
I know there's a special secret achievement if you get to 100 fate without ever. I think you got more successes than that. You don't need to roll those other 6s, but yes, you got them.
Okay.
Okay, so you are able to track them back to wherever it is that they're going, and we'll talk about that in a second. You and Basil, you take Basil with you. Let's see if you can avoid notice. So I'm going to roll.
Okay.
You're rolling stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have? You can't help Basil because you don't have it, right? Do you have?
I don't have
do you have
it. I don't have it.
You don't have.
do not
you have
even have
none of those
inconspicuous.
skills. Okay. All right.
Nope. Get ready.
So your intent here is to keep you and Basil hidden from them as you pursue them.
Yep.
Okay, I will give you a disadvantage for Basil then. 'Cause hiding
Great.
yourself is one thing, but like having to teach somebody else, like, shut up, you're breathing wrong. Like that's more difficult.
What are you
Stop, what are you doing? Yeah.
This is stealthy. I'm holding my breath. I'm holding it. Oh, no one can hear it.
Yeah.
So they'll use observation, and I'll give them
The
no.
woodsman knows how to whisper, whereas Basil only knows how to stage whisper.
Yeah.
You don't learn oratory with using how to like.
Yes.
All right, but there is a crowd, so I'll give you an advantage. I'll give you an advantage die on that.
I have inconspicuous too.
Okay. Okay, they're not very observational, so you just need one
Wait,
success.
is Agnes, are you also with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, Agnes. So you can help with inconspicuous.
Yep.
So woodsman rolls stealthy. You get an extra die. I add one to their because they're ob because of that. So you just need one success. You get an extra advantage die for being in a crowd too. So.
Nice.
Okay. Can I fork anything?
Hell yeah! What else you want? For?
Orienteering or
Yep. Yeah.
since I'm leading some people.
Totally.
Okay, so I already had one extra die, so 2 modifiers.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, one
What
help.
about observation again? Can I use that again?
No. I think in this case you're more. It's more about like locational stuff. So orienteering fills that.
Okay. What about hunting?
Yeah. Because hunting is you're literally hunting people. You're just not going to shoot them.
I'm just trying to stack.
Or
this.
maybe you will, but
Okay. And then I'm rolling against their.
yeah, you
One.
just need one success. Well, you need 2 because you need to beat them.
Oh, whoops. So the obstacle is
Up 2. Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Bam! Look at you. It's like this is the thing your character is good at.
Well, it's funny because I was like literally just gonna say, I never feel like I truly have like a big advantage in anything. I was gonna comment like I'm not sure if that's Burning Wheel or if that's Adam or because
Oh,
like
it's Burning Wheel.
even when like my highest skills, I never feel like I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking awesome with a bow, so this shit's gonna be easy. It's always like still like, oh god, I'm not sure.
that's
This should happen.
that's
This is the best thing I do.
It's by design, but in this case, you're definitely like in a position to follow these.
Yeah,
even
yeah,
with your unstealthy friends behind you. So you get both of your intents. You both follow them to where they're going, and you stay hidden. You follow them for like the 3 of you follow them for I would say like several hours. Because shadowing is slow going, and they make a few stops. They stop at a like a roadside, like one of those bars that might as well be a stand in that it's like a little room built into the side of a building, and it's just got like a counter, and it's like a coffee bar. So they stop for coffee. You overhear a bit of their conversation. They're talking about. I guess they stop, and one of them, the woman, says something about like I didn't expect him to be there, and then the other one says the man says, well, he knows Booker, and then they're like, well, did you see any of the others? No, I didn't. Well, it was pretty crowded. There might have been more. Well, there usually is. They tend to stick together. And then they're like, they finish their coffee. One of them lights a cigarette, and they're like, "We should get back." And
You
then
mean they're pumpkin spice lattes?
Totally. Yeah, they finish their pumpkin spice
spring.
lattes, and then they
Spring,
vape.
no
They
pumpkin
vape
yet.
their way into the crowd.
God damn these. Oh. The scourge of Freiburg ends here.
Yeah, the vapor cult. So they disappear back into the crowd, or they think they've disappeared. You follow them. And they get to they go back to like a tenement apartment building. And they stop at the front door where someone who, as they approach, like he looks like he's asleep, like he's sitting on an upturned wooden crate. He's got like a felt hat over his face. He looks up when they approach, and there's a moment of recognition, and then they pass through the doors into the apartment building. And the man goes back to guarding the door. So you follow them back here. You're in like it was a bad part of town before, and now it's like an unregulated bad part of town. It's kind of like it's very low on the list of like things that the revolution needs to get to once all this other shit is dealt with.
Right.
So this would be a place where like the poor and the indigent would have lived before, and these two have just slipped into its warm embrace. So you are in a safe place, like nearby. By now it's quite dark. The lamplighters have come through and like lit the area, and you're maybe in like an alley nearby, and there's not a lot of traffic, but it's early enough in the night that the sort of trade of the area hasn't really picked up.
How big is this place? How tall is it? How many floors?
Like it's large for a slightly post-medieval building. So maybe like 4 or 5 stories.
Okay.
It takes up most of like this part of the block. Yeah.
I still don't like this. I want to know what's happening inside.
Well, and I look to Agnes, and I'm like, I'm not sure we have seen them do anything wrong yet, Agnes. And it's been a bunch of hours.
A bunch. Oh.
It's like a bunch of hours.
And I'm still buzzed, but it's like, it's sort of fading a little bit at this point.
But they know the 12. They know who we are. What if they're looking for us?
What if they're with the robes?
I think that sort of like wakes me up a little bit at the suggestion, and like, well, okay, I can go in there. You know that.
But they might recognize you.
They would definitely recognize you.
Not if they don't see me.
How do we get you in? Also, I wish radios were invented.
Some kind of far-speaking device.
Yes. I have a new belief. I want to learn sorcery so I can stay in contact with my team.
It's like, well, do you guys have Snapchat?
No, but
You got a Periscope.
Yeah.
Sorceress Snapchat.
All right, let's see if we can find you an entryway.
I can pick the locks, right?
Well, let's see if we can find a door to pick.
That's fine.
Walk this place. In fact, it would be a good idea to see where all the ins and outs of this place were before we went inside anyway. Before you went inside anyway.
Fine.
Oh, I should probably go in with you. I should definitely go in with you.
I don't know about that. Look, Basil, you both did good staying out of sight.
It's like you're talking to a child. It's like I handed you a drawing, and you're like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "A house." And you're like, "Oh,
it's a
good house."
But I can probably get in and out pretty quickly if you guys want to wait.
Okay.
I like that. I don't like that. What if you get hurt?
I've been hurt before.
Where the fuck is the rooster?
Yeah, I know. I had to carry you. I don't want that to happen again.
This is a mess. This is the worst. This is all terrible. How
You
do
guys
we-
are like running off without me to do all this shit too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds like there's some persuasion attempt going on here. Like either Basil or Agnes is trying to persuade the woodsman not to go alone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Basil is not capable of doing it right now. He is off like this. He's
okay,
not.
So Agnes, this is so here's a perfect example. So Agnes, I guess the choice falls to you,
Right.
where you see Basil being like, maybe we should, and he's kind of like, having a hard time. What do you do? You look at Basil. He's not going to convince the woodsman. Woodsman's gonna
I'm
go
a
by
muttering mess right now.
himself. Totally.
I'm looking at the woodsman. I'm like, I need to go with you. I'm not
Okay.
going to let you get hurt again.
So you're gonna try and convince him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna roll persuade, which I presume is not a skill you have yet.
No.
You do.
No.
I mean, you could pick him up and haul him somewhere, but you don't have.
I could.
Write him a stern letter. Okay. All right. So it's going to be an untrained. You're going to roll your. It's going to be hard to convince the woodsman. You're going to roll your will, I think, is what persuade is based on.
Okay.
Let me double check for you. Persuasion. Yeah, based on will. So you're going to roll your will. The obstacle is double the woodsman's will. So, oh, good. The woodsman's only got a will of 2. So ob 4.
Okay.
And you can't do any forking or anything. So you got to get a success on every die. This is just pure willpower here.
Oh, lordy. Okay. You said ob 4.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. I mean, you can spend a fate on your will, and you can roll that 6 again. You make it a 6, and then another
It's
success.
still just 3 successes, though, right?
Yeah, but if you get another 6,
Okay. Well, give it a shot.
and you get to mark that you spent persona or a fate on will, and you can mark that difficult test. So. Okay, so 3 out of 4, so close. Okay, so what does that look like? Why? So I guess woodsman, why is it not? Why does it not work? Why is her saying like, but you might get hurt? Like, what does that look like for the woodsman? Why does it not persuade you?
It basically looks like she's I guess protesting, and I just. I think I just walk away. Like there's no exchange happening. I just kind of like,
Right.
it's like a Batman in like Jim Gordon's window sort of situation
Nice.
where he's talking and engaging.
So
But then
Agnes looks at Basil like, Basil, help me out here, and turns around and you're gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just like a billowing window curtain.
Totally. There's a big
Yeah.
signal up in the sky with a log on it.
The woodsman's here.
All right. Yeah. So you turn and he's disappeared to go and do his thing. And actually, that's a great place to take our break, right? Where you like Basil and you turn, woodsman's gone, and then we fade out to commercial. So let's take our last break here, and we'll come back and you can investigate the secret apartments of the shadowy one-handed figures when we
Oh,
get back.
God.
All right. Cool. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.